Mullet hairstyles, big shoulder pads and exotic fast cars. Nope, I'm not going to be talking about 80s pop music videos, I'm talking about Miami Vice. Here we are almost 4 decades later and finally we get some cool action figures. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back. Now, Miami Vice is one of these TV shows that really did encapsulate the 80s with the mullet hairstyles, the flashy designer suits with big shoulder pads, exotic fast cars, and chicks in bikinis. Now, here we are, almost 4 decades after the show first premiered, and we're finally going to get some really cool action figures to represent the show. Now, I do appreciate that in 2006, M.a.s.k did a couple of 9-inch action figures, but they really missed the mark with the packaging. But that's all been rectified thanks to CFCB. Now, what do we have here? We have Crockett and Tubbs in 3 3/4 inch scale, very retro style, and the packaging, I'm sure you will agree, is absolutely everything the 80s stands for. Now, I want to clarify something right up front. Yes, Scott at CFCB has kindly sent me carded and loose to take a look at. These are not gifts, I am not shilling, and I have the return label right here. These are not mine to keep, and I am simply doing Scott a favour by taking a look at these. But with that out of the way, let's start by looking at James Sonny Crockett. First things that really grab you when you look at these is just how garish the card back is, and that's everything that Miami Vice represented. Furthermore, I should stress as well, the cardstock used is fantastic. It's really solid, thick card. Now, I'm going to say something that some people may or may not agree with, but I consider this type of carded action figure to be very similar to Super 7 reaction line, whereby, in my opinion, the card back is as important as the figure itself. And those of you that have watched this channel will know that I do have Iron Maiden and Ghost reaction figures which have remained carded, which goes against everything I believe in. But in that instance, I think the card back and the figure are one and the same, and they should be left on card. But don't worry, for the purpose of this review, I do have some loose examples as well, so stay tuned for that. But if you are a fan of Miami Vice, this is the sort of thing you will want to have on display. And the card back, or the backing to the card back, also shows Sonny and Tubbs plus 2 to be announced figures, and I have another announcement regarding Miami Vice. Stay tuned for that also. But this basically is how it would have been presented had a company like Kenner done Miami Vice figures back in the 80s. And again, exactly the same thing with Rico Tubbs. Same exact card back, and the backing also the same. But I think we really need to get a closer look at these figures and see what they are all about. Starting out with James Sonny Crockett, as you can see, he's wearing his white suit with the blue collarless shirt underneath, a very sort of 80s style going on there, and of course with his cool dude shades. Now, I find myself having to repeat this on every CFCB video, but it is worth noting that these do contain 5 points of articulation, but they are not what you would call action figures. These are adult collectible display pieces, and if you do happen to own these, I recommend not moving them too much because they are a little bit fragile, but for the intended purpose of display, these are absolutely fantastic. Now, the sculpting on this has been done very much in a retro style, but you can clearly tell that this is indeed Crockett. Now, he comes equipped with his handgun. Because these don't belong to me, I'm not going to put it into his hand because on occasions you can cause some paint wear. So, but if you do own one yourself, feel free to pose it with the gun in his hand. But this is an absolutely beautiful looking figure, and seeing the white and the blue contrast like that, very 80s, very cool indeed. So now we have Ricardo Tubbs wearing his grey double-breasted suit with black shirt and neon pink tie underneath. A very, very 80s look going on there. And again, it just looks like something Kenner would have given us back in the day. And on display, it's going to look absolutely fantastic. Now, unlike Crockett, Ricardo Tubbs comes armed with a sawn-off shotgun, which is very cool looking. So when looking at the card back, we can see there are a further 2 figures yet to be announced. But in addition to that, I can also confirm that Scott is working on producing Crockett's Ferrari 365 GT4 Spider. So we're going to get a vehicle to go along with these figures. So if you are a big fan of Miami Vice, you're going to get the full package here, which I think is going to look absolutely fantastic. So there we go, Crockett and Tubbs from Miami Vice finally in 3 3/4 inch form and looking just like they came straight from the 80s. Now, if you want to purchase these or any of the other items that CFCB offers, please head to the website, link is in the description. Furthermore, viewers of this channel can enjoy a 10% discount by entering this code at checkout. Now, if you do visit the website and you see a lot of the things you want to buy are sold out, bear in mind CFCB is a one-man operation, so if there's something that you want that appears to be sold out, I recommend sending Scott a message and I'm sure he can work something out for you. So I hope you enjoyed that look there at an absolute slice of classic 80s. And if you did, please leave a like, please share the video, please make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned for more videos from All Things 80s.